ZENA.
CELH.
CELH. KDLY. O. CELH. CELH. O. TSLZ. ZENA. 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 TSLZ. TSLZ. O. AKAN. Uber. TSLQ.
STEM. STEM.
TSDD. TSLZ. TSDD. ZENA.
stem,
ZENA. CELH. Big spread. Lift.
stem,
SQQQ. Zone.
WFC Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo reporting $1.42. The estimate on Wells Fargo was $1.28, so that's a beat. Revenue $20.37 billion. The estimate was $20.408 billion. Wells Fargo share is falling here.
CELH.
LYFT,
Lift.
Wells Fargo increasing its common stock dividend. Now JP Morgan is out. JP Morgan reporting $4.37. The estimate on JP
ZENA.
Morgan was $4.01, so that's a beat. Revenue $42.7 billion. That's a beat for JP Morgan Chase.
ZENA.
ZENA,
ZENA.
ZENA,
Shares of Wells Fargo
ZENA.
getting a bounce here off the lows, 56.20. down $5.50.
ZENA.
JP Morgan share is moving higher, $213.03 now.
Uber.
That's Juliet Papa Michael.
Boyle.
LYFT.
CELH. TSLZ. TSLZ.
FAST Fastenal reporting 52 cents. The estimate was 51 cents, so that's a penny beat for Foxtrot Alpha Sandy Tango. Sales 1.91 billion.
Uber.
The estimate was 1.907 billion, so that's a beat for Foxtrot Alpha Sandy Tango. Shares of JP Morgan popping here, 214.75, up almost $2 now on their better than expected report.
AFRM. ZENA. AKAN. AKAN. XLF. XLF. XLF.
JP Morgan shares continuing to spike here now. 216.84, up $4.
XLF.
WFC.
TSDD.
WFC. WFC.
WFC. Big spread.
Wells Fargo shares are reversing here and popping. JP Morgan's Jamie Dimon says we have extraordinarily strong balance sheet.
WFC.
WFC. Watch the spread. WFC. Big spread.
WFC.
TSLQ. TSLZ. A. TSDD. AKAN.
WFC.
WFC.
Plug. WFC.
WFC. Big spread. WFC.
WFC. JPM.
Wells Fargo, $59 now, up $1.25.
WFC. Big spread. AKAN. WFC. Big spread.
WFC. ZENA.
AGBA.
WFC.
ZENA.
WFC. JPM. JPM.
ZENA.
JPM.
JPM. Watch the spread.
WFC. WFC.
For the ones ensuring the job always gets done, and the ones wearing many hats, Grainger offers professional-grade industrial supplies and real-time product availability. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
CLSK.
USCG, US Energy begins full compliance with NASDAQ listing requirement. Uniform Sandy Echo Golf.
AGBA.
WFC.
AKAN.
ZENA. WFC.
ZENA.
WFC.
ZENA.
NVDL.
SGMT, Sagamet Biosciences, announcing publication of results from phase
AGBA.
2B Fascinate 2 clinical trial of denifanstat in biopsy-confirmed F2, F3 MASH in Lancet that Sandy Golf Michael Tango shows significant improvements in MASH resolution and fibrosis. That's SGMT, Sandy Golf Michael Tango.
NVDL.
AGBA.
AO Smith, a few minutes ago, announced their preliminary earnings results.
AGBA.
Sees 2024 adjusted earnings of $3.70 to $3.85 versus the
WFC.
$4.06 estimate. That's Alpha Oscar Sandy.
NVDL. WFC.
AGBA, AGBA, announcing completion, advancing towards completion of the Triller merger. That's Alpha Golf Bravo Alpha, AGBA.
WFC. TSDD.
WFC.
TSLQ.
TSDD.
WFC. WFC. NVDL, NVDL,
DJT, Uber,
BAC,
AGBA,
BAC, BAC,
AGBA,
NVDL,
DJT,
WFC, WFC, NVDL, WFC, NVDL, WFC, BAC, WFC, NVDA, BAC, NVDL, WFC, WFC, NVDL,
AKAN,
WFC, WFC, WFC.
At Great American, we're all about making your job as a property manager easier.
Lift, AGBA,
NVDL, Uber, WFC, BAC, BAC,
AGBA,
BAC,
DJT,
WFC, BAC, NVDL, NVDL, WFC, BAC, mu, mu, DJT,
DJT,
mu,
NIVF,
DJT,
NIVF,
DJT, 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 mu, DJT,
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 DJT, DJT,
DJT,
DJT,
DJT,
DJT,
DJT,
CLOV,
DJT, DJT,
NIVF,
DJT, 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 DJT,
DJT, NIVF, DJT, lift,
DJT,
DJT, Trump
DJT,
media shares spiking to the highs now, $26. Delta Juliet
DJT,
Tango,
DJT, DJT,
DJT, DJT,
DJT,
DJT,
DJT, DJT,
DJT, DJT, DJT, DJT,
DJT,
DJT, DJT, DJT,
JPM. SQQQ. WFC. AKAN.
AMD. 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 MGOL. AMD. 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 MGOL. AMD. MGOL. AMD. Hood. AMD.
WFC. Lift.
BAC.
NIVF. NIVF.
SMCI. SMCI. AMDL. BAC. SMCI. SMCI. SMCI.
Hey guys, just visiting a property that I made money on that I didn't have to wholesale, fix and flip, or buy.
Well, Tesla's got a
AMDL.
lot of haters. If PPI comes in lower,
AMDL.
think of how much manufacturing has gone up recently. They are making product for less. Henceforth, margin profit for them. Tech is going to go burr. Yeah, maybe. Someone had a medical emergency. Yeah, no, I feel for them. I hope they got it figured out. Yeah, I'm tired. I did the Tesla stream not that long ago. Not that long ago. So I did the Tesla
DJT.
stream 7 hours ago.
AKAN.
I also have cauliflower ear right now, and my ears hurt. Like I've got
AGBA.
cauliflower in my ear. I've got to wear these magnets on my ear.
NIVF.
And they hurt, dude. Like I'm wearing these things in my ear. Like most of the time it's fine, but I was laying in bed last night trying to sleep, and these things freaking hurt. Yeah, I drained it, and now I'm wearing magnets.
AGBA.
Yeah.
AKAN.
BLMZ.
DJT.
Yeah, so I'm looking at this. This shows the previous report.
DJT.
And then the time before that, I didn't even look at the time before that yet. Here's the time before that. Last minute predictions, 0.1% people are saying. 0.1%. I'm going to go with 0.2%, 0.3%. Yeah, it was 0.2% for the time before that. And so I've guessed it right every time. Within a range, right? But I guessed if it was coming in higher or lower. This time it came in higher, last time it came in lower. And it's predictable, I guess. I never thought CPI was predictable until I started getting it right every time.
Turb.
And then this one was 3 months ago on July 11th.
DJT.
Although I don't think I got it right, July.
DJT. DJT.
BLMZ.
Did I? Let's see, I don't think so.
AGBA.
BLMZ.
I don't know what inflation data is going to show up as. I'm guessing 0.1%, which is as expected, maybe 0.2%.
DJT.
Slightly high. Yeah.
WW.
WW.
No, we showed that, I guess, June 11th. I think I got June 12th right. I said June 12th we were going to come in at 0%. So we have 1 hour, 8 minutes left. Yes, let me put a timer up. My bad, guys. Again,
DJT. DJT.
DJT.
I'm trying to stream
DJT.
everything, and it's getting exhausting, you know. So we got an hour. We got an hour and 6.5 minutes left. That's what we got. But yeah, there's Wells Fargo. You can kind of see NVIDIA. Here's the QQQ. Q's down, mostly driven by Tesla. I'm curious if the SPY is going to break down too.
BLMZ.
Well, so CPI, we're not looking at how much it fell relative to last month. We're looking at what it is versus expected. CPI yesterday was expected at
WW.
increase and ended up
AMDL.
showing a 0.2% increase. Right now, it did dip a little bit from last time year to year. Last time it showed up at 2.5% year to year. This time it showed up at 2.4%. So it did dip a little bit year to year. So it actually went down. But month to month, I think it dipped as well. Yeah, from 0.3 to 0.2%. But still, it did come in higher than expected yesterday. Chad loves you, buddy. Hey, thank you guys. I appreciate it.
BLMZ.
Play some of that Elon music, bro. That Elon music was hyped. You know.
TSDD.
Like I was
BLMZ.
smart about
BLMZ.
it. Like I heard the music and I immediately
DJT.
turned off monetization on my stream because they started hitting me like it's not actual strikes. It's
DJT.
more so It's not actually strikes. It's more so claims.
DJT.
Like if I play it in my music, they take the monetization from me, and that's what happens.
TSDD.
Like they just basically any money that video makes, they the creator of the music gets to keep.
TSDD.
Shares of Wells Fargo off the highs now, 59.50, up $2.15, following their earnings report. Whiskey Foxtrot Charlie.
AGBA.
JPM, JP Morgan Chase off the highs, 216.51,
BLMZ.
following their better than expected report.
BLMZ.
Coming up at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, the Producer Price Index for September.
Yeah, man. Buying places in Florida seems risky at this point in time. What I'm really bummed out about, I can't train for weeks now. I'm honestly genuinely kind of bummed. I can't train for weeks.
BLMZ. BLMZ. BLMZ.
Yeah, I know somebody said
BLMZ.
I can wear a head mask, and so I might still train. I don't know.
BLMZ.
DJT.
BLMZ. BLMZ.
DJT.
Yeah, so two new
NIVF.
Teslas announced by Elon: Robovan, Robocab,
Meg.
and Optimus. He is what they talked about mostly. Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, I mean, I'm not really like a fighter or anything. I'm a hobbyist, more so. I mean, I train a lot. I have fun doing it. I
DJT.
need to get out. I sit at this computer for so long that like, but I'm just a white belt, but I do train enough. Like I train too much, and that's evident in my ears swelling, because they've hurt. Like my ears have hurt for 3 weeks straight. You know, and like they've been swollen, and for a while I bought a head mask, like
DJT.
a wrestler's mask, but I couldn't wear it when I sparred with people because
DJT.
it was just too difficult. Like I couldn't hear anything, and that's super, like one of your
Good.
senses getting thrown off is really not helpful. So I never ended up wearing it. And that
CAPR.
seems to be a mistake now. It looks like I'll have to wear it. But point is, I'm a hobbyist. I'm not like I'm a white belt. But in jiu-jitsu, like white belts, you're a white belt for years, you know. So like I've been training for a while, but yeah,
CAPR. Watch the spread.
I'm not gonna be making any pro fights anytime soon. I don't think my striking's nearly good enough to anyway. It's not bad, but it's not. I wouldn't call it good either, you know. Yeah, the Optimus. Again, the first thing I thought of when I saw the Optimus robot
AGBA.
was Bicentennial Man, the movie. Any of my older people might remember Bicentennial Man, the movie. That's what I thought about when I saw the Optimus body. Elon basically says these robots are going to allow us to, we're going to be able to basically have an assistant robot at our house that does whatever we need it to do. Any type of manual labor, any type of production, the robot's going to be able to do it. And he said it's going to lead to an age of abundance, is what he said. What's your opinion on PBI to the markets? So PBI is expected today. Again, I'll put this up on screen. We got a bunch of bank
DJT.
earnings that are influencing the market. Again, PPI is expected at 0.1%. It's expected at 0.1% and will be released
DJT.
live here at 8:30
DJT.
Standard Time. Subscribe to
DJT.
chat. We did break
DJT.
148,000
DJT.
yesterday, though. That's nice.
DJT.
DRN. DJT. DJT.
DJT.
DJT.
Were they really human controlled, Ty?
DJT.
That might be why everything went down. Because if they are human controlled, while it's a cool show, it doesn't mean anything if they were human controlled.
DJT.
DJT.
DJT. DJT. DJT.
And again, I told you guys the correlation here. It's a buy the rumor, sell the
DJT.
news event.
DJT.
DJT.
DJT. DJT.
DJT.
Something I talked about really heavily leading into this
DJT.
event
AMD.
was how the nature
DJT.
of this is usually buy the rumor, sell the news, meaning it gets really pumped up ahead of these
DJT.
events, and then after the
DJT.
actual event happens, the stock
DJT.
falls, right? And that's exactly what we saw here. Like it got pumped up ahead of the event, got up to 260s at one point, and then after
AMD.
the event,
AGBA.
it fell all the way down to 222s.
AMD.
So, something that happens really, really predictably ahead of big
BLMC.
Tesla events.
AMD. AMD. CONL.
PSNY Polestar announcing global volumes for
AMDL.
Q3.
AMD.
Yeah.
Papa Sandy November Yankee.
AMD.
11,900 cars delivered in
AGBA.
Q3 of 2024 and 32,300
AGBA.
year to ending September. That's PSNY.
AGBA. AMD.
AGBA.
Company to hold an update on January 16,
AGBA.
2025.
AGBA.
That's Papa Sandy November Yankee.
Coin.
AGBA.
DJT. DJT. AZ. DJT. DJT. Coin.
ROCK, Gibraltar, revises its 2024 financial guidance. Sees adjusted earnings of $1.25 to $1.28 and adjusted net sales of $359 to $362 million. That's for the 3 months ending September 30th. That's Romeo Oscar Charlie Kilo.
AMD.
All right, chat. So
DJT.
BLMZ.
CAPR.
BTTR, better choice to expand into veterinary medicine in 2025 following acquisition of SRX Health, Bravo Tango Tango Romeo.
yeah, so again, there's a whole ride in the
BTTR.
Cybercab. I'm looking at a video of it now. The Cybercab seems genuinely cool though, and it'll change technology. One thing I kept talking about yesterday is the implications on Uber, Lyft, companies like that.
Yang.
DJT,
DJT. DJT.
DJT, DJT,
DJT.
DJT, DJT, DJT,
DJT.
PHUN, 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 hood, PHUN, PHUN, hood, PHUN, PHUN,
Cybercab, how long to change regulations? Yeah, I think that's the big question mark with
PHUN.
all of it. What's your prediction for the PPI data? I have no idea what PPI is going to
Good.
show up as. No idea.
PHUN,
PHUN.
Trading crypto. Hood has an event. Robinhood. Jiu-Jitsu's great. Yeah, Jiu-Jitsu's fun, man. It really is. It's the closest thing that comes to a video game for me.
ZENA.
Yeah, so producer price goodbye. Yeah, so producer price data, there's two sides of the inflationary coin, right? One of them is CPI,
ZENA.
it's consumer inflation. It's how much prices are rising for consumers.
AGBA.
And the other one is how much
Oil
prices
NL.
are rising for producers or sellers. So again, what
Coin.
CPI tracks is the average change in
AGBA.
prices over time that consumers pay for goods and services. It's used to measure inflation from the perspective
CONL.
specifically of
AGBA.
consumers. The CPI data helps us understand how much prices are
AGBA.
rising or falling,
AGBA.
essentially, which can affect the cost of
AGBA.
living. It's also used by policymakers to adjust things like wages, social security payments, and to guide economic policy occasionally. But the Fed likes to use PCE. But my point is, if CPI rises by 2%, as an example, it means that on average, goods and services like food, rent, healthcare, transportation have increased in price by 2%. It kind of shows you how important of a gauge CPI is. Now, PPI tracks the average change in the prices that producers or businesses receive for their goods. So it's basically like how much they get for their
BAC.
stuff they're selling. It reflects wholesale price changes or prices from the producer's perspective. PPI helps understand inflation from the side of production and is often an early indicator of future CPI changes. And so
ZENA.
if producers' costs go up, they might eventually pass those higher costs on to consumers, if that makes sense. An example is if PPI rises by 1%, it means that on average prices at the producer level, like raw materials, wood, wholesale goods, stuff like that, have gone up by 1%. And so that's what we're looking at when we look at
AGBA.
PPI. PPI looks at prices that producers receive for their goods and services. So CPI looks at prices consumers pay. And so they both follow each other.
AGBA.
One usually follows the other.
AGBA.
Generally,
BAC.
CPI is first, and then after that, the next day is
AGBA.
PPI. But we do occasionally see it in which like
AGBA.
CPI will show up after PPI.
AGBA.
So that's not super rare either.
AGBA.
Coin, AGBA,
AGBA.
BAC,
PPI varies. Sometimes it's a big move. Other
Coin.
times
ONL.
it's slow. So it varies. Somebody's gambling. John was right. Tesla buy the rumor, sell the news. Yeah, man. I mean, listen, people like, here's the thing, right? Like, people act like I just got this monstrous ego where I'm just out here just saying, oh, I'm right about everything. And I don't believe that's the case. I believe if you actually look back and track some of the stuff, I'm like, hey, I was right about this. You'll see I
DJT.
actually was right about this, you know? And I think that's rare in terms of influencers and predictions. I think a lot of them make these
AGBA.
big, bold
AGBA.
predictions and are always freaking wrong. And so I'm not saying I know everything.
AGBA.
I
Uber.
certainly have my flaws in that regard, and I'm certainly
Uber.
wrong about some stuff, you know. But lately,
AGBA.
my predictions have been on point.
Uber.
You know,
DJT.
I just, like, it's a little bit more masked because I do cover it with disclaimers
Uber.
and like, hey, I have no freaking idea. I'm just guessing or whatever it is. But again, you can't really. People know CPI. I've been right. You know, like people know if we tune in for if they tune in for CPI, that usually I'm correct about what we show up as, and that's a hard standard to live up to. Because I worried this past time I was so shocked after CPI because I didn't think I was going to get it right. I thought I was like, I can't get it right again. And then I did. And so I was kind of freaked out by it yesterday, to be completely honest. But hey, when you know, you know. And I'm not going to predict PPI because I
ZENA.
really don't. I'm not nearly as good at predicting PPI as CPI. It's a 33% probability in the end for whatever decision you make. No, it's not. You know, I think like you got to think about it like this, right? Not only like yesterday I said, hey, I think we're going to come in 0.2% versus 0.1% and 2.4% versus
BAC.
2.3% expected
AA.
number. All right, but yeah, so man, so my point is, it's a much harder thing than just a third likelihood that you're going to get it right. You know, like the likelihood that I'm going to get year over year and month over month correct for 4 months in a row. I don't think it's actually 4 months in a row. I think there was one.
BAC.
Good morning, everyone.
Uber.
It's JJ at Microwave Futures. I hope you're having a great weekend. Doing a little video here on how I find these balance zones, why I think balance is important with respect to running a business, and how you can use
WFC.
these to get some targets on whatever
Uber.
time frame you're using. Here I'm using a 1 minute chart, and the other thing is how to help you manage your risk
WFC.
and trade in the right direction. It really, if you think about it, there's
Grab.
so much information that's on a chart that is being neglected. And I think it would be a wonderful addition to technical analysis because it would help technicians understand the mechanics of what is causing the pattern that they're seeing over and over again, because the business repeats itself, right? It's a market. So we build an inventory, right? We have a cost basis of that inventory, right? That's
SMCI.
that's the goods that you're planning to sell. Now, prices may dip underneath that cost basis, and we'll show you that. But generally, the optimum business result is to take that cost base, right? That inventory, right? That has a price around it, and go sell it for a profit, right? Pretty simple. So here we have a cost basis, right? What I'm finding and I'm looking for in a cost basis is I look for a high and a low. And when we look below that low,
AKAN.
we come back to that high. And that's the foundation of pretty much my go-to trade. And that trade can be scaled in time and in size. Now, I don't hold overnight and I don't trade big size. But for those who do, it's the same business principle as, you know, when the sell orders are complete, supply runs out. So for a moment, whatever moment in time that is, time frame, if it's for a minute,
ZENA.
if it's for an hour, it's a day, the market
BP.
will run out of people willing to sell at a certain price. Those sellers
PW.
are completed, the market moves higher to find buyers. So
PW.
that is the cost basis and the explanation for it. Now, if I'm going to draw a
ZENA.
volume profile from this high to the low, and you'll see that the
PW.
bulk of that volume
PW.
is in
PW.
the
PW.
cost
Grab.
basis, right? That's what we're looking at. We're looking
PW.
to see this part right
PW.
here, right?
PW.
You volume profile traders call this a high volume
PW.
node,
PW.
okay? It's a
PW.
fancy way of saying that's where all the goodies are, right? That's the majority of the price. Most of the
PW.
inventory is
PW.
priced at this level here. That's what it's just saying, right? So this is your inventory, and the majority of that inventory is priced here. So moves up from that to distribute for a profit.
Debts.
Sometimes you got to put it on sale underneath cost basis.
AA.
So how do we
PW.
now use this
PW.
information to trade?
PW.
Let's
PW.
get rid of
PW.
the volume
PW.
profile.
PW.
Debts. CCL.
CLSK. PW. DJT. DJT.
Now we take this cost basis and we double it, okay? Because your inventory is priced at a certain level. Selling
AGBA.
it or double that level is good profit. Now, what happens if
DJT.
sales are bad? What happens if you have a whole bunch of competition coming in your market, selling the same product that you have? You have a whole bunch of competition coming in at a certain level. Selling it or double that level is good profit. Now, what happens if sales are bad? What happens
DJT.
if you have a whole bunch of competition coming in your market, selling the same product that you have, but they've got a lower cost basis? Well, then you're going to have to do some fancy footwork. And if we're retail traders, we have to get out if, that level doesn't hold. But you double it to the upside and downside to get viable targets. You can use the middle to close off trades. I don't like to use the middle of the zones to initiate unless I'm really on the ball.
CCL.
Imagine making $453,000 in a single month as an affiliate marketer with.
And it's easy to say, oh great, you can take that trade.
AGBA.
In the heat of the moment, if you're really not on the ball and
AGBA.
good with your risk, you can mess that up. And if I'm in a more mess it up than do well
WFC.
stage, then I'll only take trades at the edges of the zones. So when we do that, look below and you fail and you come up, you buy a little here, you put your stop under here, and your target's the top of the zone. You buy a little here, you put your, and if I'm in a
CONL.
if I'm in a more mess it up than do well stage, then I'll only take trades at the edges of the zones. So when we do that, look below and you fail and you come up, you buy a little here, you put your stop under here, and your target's the top of the zone, right? And it's a great way to learn how to manage risk.
DJT.
Because if you're long when it looks below and then
DJT.
fails, you put your stop down here. underneath these candles.
PW.
And while you're in the trade, if the market breaks 76, then oh, it's breaking 76. I'm probably going to get stopped out. You can mentally prepare yourself for being stopped out because the order flow at the time didn't match what your business intentions were. And that happens, right? So we use that information. Maybe we can take the trade
AGBA.
later. Maybe we wait. Here's another example of a trade where it fails to look below. That's a hard one because you got to get in there
PW.
quick, but this is a 3-point balance. You can, if you're using a larger time frame, maybe a 5 or a 15-minute or whatever you're using, you can maybe use a larger
PYPL.
larger rotation of inventory, like maybe 6 points or 8 points, whatever you prefer. I like to keep it on a 1 minute because it forces me to think quick, and it forces me to focus. But that's just me, and it's a great way to learn too, because when you're on a
PYPL.
1 minute, your risk is really, really tight. So you're not going to be blowing up accounts and doing FOMO trades if you know where your trades are, where the exit of your trade is.
PW.
And if you know the reason why you're putting on the trade, if you understand the concept that is driving that trade, the driving force behind that trade, when it stops working, after a while, you'll see it and you'll know how to get out of it without losing too much money. And because we always make mistakes, we're not infallible. We're going to make mistakes, but we just need to admit we're wrong quickly, instead of being, stubborn. So anyway, this helps with everything. This is
Uber.
how you find a balance zone. That's how you double it. Oh, for people who like to short sell, when the market looks above and fails, you can initiate your short here. You can put your stop at the top of those candles and put your
BITU.
bids down here. So when the market comes in, you get hit and you cover, right? If the market can't break the middle of a zone, then you know that the sell orders have started to complete. Anyway, these are practical ways that you can use a candle chart. Now you can take your technicals and your VWAP and all of that stuff and throw it
MSTR.
on top. But now you understand the basic mechanics of how inventory
AGBA.
is priced, how it's marked up and sold, and then put on sale back to cost basis when nobody wants to buy it. Okay? Of how inventory is priced,
CONL.
basic mechanics, and your VWAP and all of that stuff, and throw it on top. But now you understand the basic mechanics of how inventory is priced, how it's marked up and sold, and then put on
IBIT.
sale back to cost basis when nobody wants to buy it. Okay? So please drop by our Micro E Futures room. Ask lots of questions. We got a 7-day free trial.
AGBA.
Right? Come in. It's a little bit different. I teach you why the trade works. And we really focus a lot on risk management because we hate to see people lose money. That's not cool. So anyway, drop by. I hope you're having a wonderful weekend. It's JJ from microefutures.com. We'll see you later on tonight at the Globex Open. Have a wonderful Sunday. Thank you, everyone.
Trading strategy where you trade the same asset every day at the same time. You can use it to achieve trading success.
Hey, good morning, everyone. It's JJ here, microefutures.com, November 17th, Friday. Just wanted to take you on a little tour of how gaps are created.
BP.
For example, if we were to open right now in this market, we would open on a gap because there's yesterday's high and we'd open on a gap above, which indicates that there's a change of business. What that means is that people are trapped short when the market took the previous day's high. This allows traders who are long from 45.24 to sell their goods during the night market between 31
CAPR,
and 36.
Capricorn Therapeutics,
As buying dries out,
getting another
put
pop
the
here off the
product on
highs,
sale.
$19.05.
But you'll notice
Charlie Alpha
AMZN.
Papa Romeo.
AKAN.
AMZN.
PW.
AMZN.
PW. AKAN.
That as soon as they get to where they took the old stops and the old previous day's high, you'll see responsive buying. That's why currently what we'd do is we'd watch this
BCS.
S period to see if it can take that R low and then trade where they took the stops, about 3 hours ago. You see, that was the old overnight high. It was a poor high. And when we took that, we have folks,
AKAN.
unfortunately, who shorted down here, and definitely those who shorted down here at the end of the
AKAN.
day. Those people who don't watch the last hour of trading, a lot of people don't, and they mark the close at 4 o'clock Eastern. I mark it at 5 Eastern, so I know where they put the goodies after the market. So you see that run up, you see a buy-in up here of 17,000 contracts, and then Globex or the night market gets short because all the trading's underneath the close. Everybody thinks it's long because they mark the close here. They're shorting it, adding fuel to the fire. And now that creates this nice move up that allows anyone who was the smart money to be long under 29 to be selling size above 29, right? It's just commerce, right? Anyway, that's how markets work. That's how gaps are created. They're created when shorts get stuck and provide responsive buying, right? Remember, a short seller is always a future buyer because they have to close the transaction by buying back their position to cover. So they're bid to cover here
DJT.
and they'll be bid to cover here. Now, overnight inventory will start to get long when the point of controls move higher and value shifts up,
AKAN.
BP.
right? Right now we're distributing. This is that back and forth sideways motion, and then you go into the distribution for profit, right? So when the market opens today, if we open on a gap and we can't get down to that previous day's high, remember we got rotation and there's going to be a lot of stops above the high of 2 days ago. So be careful. Should be a wild and woolly one. OPEX today too. Trade smart, trade defensive, and make sure you keep the money you made this week. If you want to learn how to trade structure and how it can improve your life, come see us at microefutures.com. I'm JJ. Have a wonderful weekend. Thanks for being with us. Bye for now.
DJT. 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 DJT.
The future of your business is here. With Wix, you get advanced AI.
Recording in progress.
Good morning, everyone. This is JJ at microefutures.com. I'll take you through a quick look and show you what we should be expecting in this market. First of all, we look at the overnight inventory, which is the trading of the overnight session. You'll notice that the trading is all underneath the close of yesterday. Yesterday, we high closed the market, right? People got trapped short in 5 different places.
DJT. 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 AKAN. AKAN.
BP.
Hey folks, watching a double bottom at single prints where the old overnight low is. Should be a humdinger. Here you can see, look at all the buying on the bid. 720 contracts on the bid here, 547 here, right? As you can see, they're trying to soak up the supply before the stops get run. You know, because shorts are going to come in to an area where they know there's going to be selling and try and outbid each other to cover their product. Now, given that overnight inventory is 100% short and we've been down here for a while, you know, we do have a double bottom, right? Now, do I expect that to break? Maybe, given the order flow. Now, if that holds, this double bottom here holds, it's telling us that the supply is running out. Now, it might hold for a few minutes, but what's going on here, and if everybody wants to understand what is actually happening when you see a double bottom, the shorts are coming in an area.
TYRA, Tyra Biosciences, announcing late-breaking oral presentation on preliminary safety and anti-tumor activity of Tyra 300 from SURF 301 at the AACR Symposium, Tango Yankee Romeo Alpha, TYRA. BSVN Bank 7 with their report reporting $1.24. Bravo Sandy
AGBA.
Victor November. The estimate was $1.07, so that's a beat for Bravo Sandy Victor November.
PW.
TQQQ. TLT. TLTA. TSLT. TSLT. TSLA. TSLT.
Lattice Semiconductor.
TALT. TME.
LSCC company CFO to retire or to resign, effective immediately to pursue a new opportunity. That's Lima Sandy Charlie Charlie.
PW. AGBA.
Wolf. CDE. IREN.
CDT.
PW.
Penny stock spiking here on heavy volume. Charlie Delta Tango. AstraZeneca earlier reported a 9.9% passive stake in a 13G filing.
GLXG.
AGBA.
BIOR, Biora Therapeutics, announcing a reverse stock split
AGBA.
in the ratio of 1 to 10. That's Bravo India Oscar Romeo, BIOR. PALT, Pal Talk, announcing judge enters final judgment in connection with Cisco
NIVF.
jury verdict.
AGBA.
That is Papa Alpha Lima Tango and
AGBA.
Charlie Sandy Charlie Oscar.
Ian.
AGBA.
ACRV,
NIVF.
AGBA Therapeutics, announcing initial patient dosing in phase 1 trial of ACR 2316. That's Alpha Charlie Romeo Victor, ACRV.
AA. AA. ECRAV. TSLA.
NIVF. DJT. DJT.
Where we expect them to
DJT.
come in. These are single prints. These are single prints from, I believe it was
IMTX.
the 11th, right, when we had that trend day higher. Okay? And single prints are short, meaning
AKAN.
trapped without supply.
IMTX. AA.
Time in July that I've been investing 30 years. This is a bad investment.
AA.
AGBA.
AA.
PW. PW. PW,
CDE,
PW,
personally.
So we're currently in this set of single prints. There's another set below us right underneath the 42, 44 stops. And these single prints are an area that I would look for responsive buying if this breaks and comes down into it. Right now, what the large traders are doing
AMZN,
is they're trying to get their shorts covered here. That's why you see size, right? You see size on the bid, and you also see
AMZN,
size on the offer. Now you get size
PYPL,
on the offer, and that occurs,
AMZN,
and delta will
AMZN,
go up because
SOXL,
when you run out of supply on the bid, delta starts going higher because
SOXL,
people start taking the offer, and that's what causes this
CMPL,
cumulative up-down tick volume to start
AMZN,
moving higher. So if you see price stabilizing, delta stabilizing, and then it starts to turn higher, you know that there's not that much supply on the bid and the shorts are going in and covering. As soon as the shorts see that there is supply, they will drop their buy orders because they're
Wolf,
opportunistic, right? It's smart business. You
AMZN,
drop your buy orders and you see whether or not the seller will follow you down.
PYPL,
If the seller doesn't follow you
AGBA,
down, you've
Wolf,
got to move your buy order back up. Now this
Wolf,
is happening instantaneously because of
AGBA,
electronic execution, not like the old days where you had to manually do this stuff, right? But that is the business hasn't changed in 200 years, right? It's still up, down, up, down. That's why you're getting this chop. So for newer traders, right, and who aren't really that experienced, and if you kind of want to watch this to see what the big guys do, if we run out of supply, we will get back over the T+2 low at 42.55 and over 42.57 and run that
IBIT,
stop. If we don't run out of supply, see the volume point of
IBIT,
control is here. So
IMTX,
Wolf,
PYPL,
This AI
PW,
Wolf,
Wolf, PW.
TWG. PYPL. AA.
Benzinga market update. S&P futures down 1, the Dow futures up 11, Nasdaq down 35.
PALT.
Crude is down 70
TW.
cents at $75.15. Natural gas
TWG.
flat at $2.68. Gold is up 23.10 at 2062.40. Bitcoin futures
PW.
up 15.65 at 61,360. Coming up in 15 minutes at 8:30. The producer price index month over month for September plus 0.1% expected, year over year plus 1.6%. The core PPI plus 0.2% month
TSDD.
over month plus 2.7% year over year. That's coming up at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time.
PYPL.
Right? Like, it's not horrible, but it's definitely not good. Earnings season
TWG.
coming up too.
ME 23andMe announcing 1 for 20 reverse stock split. Michael Echo ME.
TWG.
Yeah, see money. I was impressed when I looked at it this morning.
Yeah, nice job. Nice job. Who did that? Was that Limitless or Steve?
Limitless, I think. Right.
Oh, cool.
Snacks.
Thank you for doing that. Much appreciated.
Done. Watch the
Hey,
spread.
Elko, what's going on? Jonesy, Paolo? How are you guys doing?
Done. Watch the spread.
Always type in the
Done.
in Discord.
Watch the spread.
Mr. Chat.
Oh, yeah.
So welcome, folks. Surprised we got so many people out. It's our Q&A, Profile 101, Markets 101, whatever you guys want to
PW.
talk about. Let's start it off and fire away. Who's got questions?
TW.
What do you guys want to talk about?
No questions.
No
For the
questions.
Q&A.
Okay. All right, we're done. Bye.
See ya.
See ya.
I gotta start getting ready soon anyways.
I got one, JJ. I was running through my notes here. Do you have a different checklist for Globex versus regular trading hours, and kind of how do you visualize the two as just different in your process and how you approach things?
Okay. Who's speaking?
This is Limitless. What's
Oh,
happening?
hey. Good, brother. Okay. I look always at inventory. Um, because we don't have what we call initiative buying in this market right now by the big money management funds. Everything is inventory. Inventory gets too long, the market sells off. Inventory gets too short, the market rallies. So the checklist is pretty much all inventory based and where the stops are. And the other thing I'll do is I'll look at how much time, like for example, if you looked at the ES right now, right, in Globex, we've spent, gosh, hours now above 36.85, right? And so I would look and see, oh man, we've spent a lot of time up here. Inventory is kind of getting long, and I'll start looking for adjustments to that inventory, right? Selling. And I do the same thing in RTH. The only thing about RTH is what I adjust for is how much quicker the price action happens. The moves happen generally
AGBA.
faster because there's more people in the market. And, so you've got a lot more participation from a lot more varied participants of different sizes and time frames in the RTH, as opposed to Globex, which is solely just short-term folks with large inventory to move back and forth.
Okay, so same concepts, different time periods and speed.
Yeah, different time periods, speeds. I'll just, like, for example, say if this was RTH right now, and the breadth wasn't that great, and we had
AGBA.
some fairly decent order flow, I would start expecting those lower stops at 3,700, 36.92 to get broken.
Question, and maybe I just missed it. Do you actually use breadth in after hours, or does breadth even work because volume's so low? Or
there is no breadth in after hours.
Okay.
Breadth is calculated from the breadth that we see when I pull up this doohickey here. It's the New York Stock Exchange breadth, right? And tick. So you'll notice the market's closed, so nothing's moving, right?
Makes sense.
So yeah, if the New York Stock Exchange is closed, then you won't use those things. So Globex is pure structure trading. It's pure inventory and pure structure.
Okay.
Whereas the breadth is something that we don't really trade off of, or the tick, because of algorithmic trading and execution now. So we use it as sort of, kind of like the oil pressure gauge in a car.
Yeah.
Right. You just want to see what the engine's running at. The water temperature gauge, is it running hot? Is it overheating? That kind of thing. You don't actually trade off of it.
Yeah, I call it a secondary indicator, right? Is like if something was crazy off the rails with that, I'd pay attention to it, and it probably come into play, right? Similar to your oil pressure.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's it's just basically what's going on in the engine, but it's really not going to help us with trade location or
of course
or risk or any of that stuff. But yeah, it just kind of helps. Like, if the breadth was 50-1 positive, you'd be like, oh, okay.
Yeah, something to raise your eyebrow to. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
Thanks, man.
For me, the breadth keeps me out of things more than it gets me into them. Right.
Exactly.
The breadth is like if it's 50-1 negative, then I'm probably not
coherent, naming a new
not looking
CFO,
for
Charlie
longs.
Oscar Hotel Romeo.
That's been market structure
GLXG.
in general
DJT.
for me, right? More of a
TWM.
confirmation to stay out and look
AA.
for what I consider to be more of like an A plus setup based upon market structure confirmation, as well as breadth,
PW.
right, for this topic. But no, thanks. Appreciate it, guys.
No problem.
IPW.
Great. Okay, we've got another question here. How do you know when longs are trapped, and what could that look like? Okay, great. Here's a great example, right? Right here, what you're seeing in Globex, right?
MYND.
And you're seeing, I would say longs are trapped because overnight inventory is fairly long. The value is all above
MYND.
Friday's close. Okay. So what we're doing here is we're looking to see, you look at time, Jonesy. How much time has a market spent
PWM.
over a level, right? And if it's spent a lot of time over a level, right? And it hasn't had any upside, like, let's put it into real world terms.
GLXG.
Okay. Say you're long at 3,700.
PW.
And you're looking for 37.15, 37.22. But the market's just kind of futzing around between 3,700 and 3,707. Well, you're starting to get antsy, right? And say if you were long 3,700, and the market has been over 3,700 for, let's say, why my numbers gone now?
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now, and the best partner is the one who can.
Here we go. So there's 3,700. We've been above 3,700 for 5 hours. And we're not really getting much upside. And say you didn't sell here at 37.10 or 37.08. So you're starting to get a little antsy. Now you are trapped long inventory.
DJT.
So what we do is we look at the lower stops, which is each half-hour bar's low, to see. Now you see how expiry just took the W stop? That means there was enough supply
NIVF.
to break the buy orders here and fill in those bids that are here, which
SRFM.
are the bids from people who are trapped short. Does that make sense?
SIGA.
Cool. Right? So we just ran that W
NIVF.
stop. Now, if we have a lot of supply, we'll come down and we'll run the U stop,
NIVF.
the U low. Right? So inventory is long, and it's starting. I'm just going to just split out these profiles so you guys can
SRFM.
kind of hone in on this. Right? Pull that one back in.
NIVF.
So you could see how we ran the W stop, and when we broke that, 159, 120, 128, 68, a couple of hundred contracts spilled out.
AG.
And what's going on, why there's responsive buying, is the folks that shorted the market down here are waiting at those stops to buy. That's why they're buy orders here, right? So you look at the stops to see, okay. So they ran those buy orders. How much supply are we looking at those levels, right? So so you can use a candle wax chart as well, because you could see it break that standard deviation. But you can see it loitering around that standard deviation, because you know that there are traders who are short 08 and even maybe under who are trying to buy at that standard deviation. That's why you're getting that response. That's why it just didn't fall apart, because there's buying there and the shorts are actually holding the market up. Now, people say, JJ, how do you know it's the shorts? Because there's no trader in his right mind who's going to be buying long here with size, right? Unless unless you're high on glue, or have you been sniffing glue or something like that, you wouldn't be. That's not where you would be putting his position together, right? So hopefully that helps, right? When you get a gap up from Friday close on.
Jiu-jitsu moves on the gold
TWG.
Not today. Dump. I don't know. Is the Blackwell chip sold out for 2025? I heard something about it. Lesson will be learned: always bet against Tesla, unless it's leading up to an event. All right, chat. A minute and a half left. We basically got 2,000 people here. I appreciate the love. Thanks so much. Well, there's a lot of reasons, Daniel. To be honest, I don't really need to get funded, versus a lot of other people, right? Like, my TOS account most of this year has had hundreds of thousands of dollars in it. I just don't need to get funded. And I could, again, that's just me being real about it. And so we try to get funded, but we trade very small anyway. Like, I have my own system that I trade on my account on TOS. And usually it's scalp, so it's very quick 10, 15-second trades. And in that situation, I don't mind making 20, 30 bucks. If I do it over and over again, then we're okay. Anyways, guys, here we go. We got less than a minute. 40 seconds, chat, 40 seconds. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. We got 2,000 people here live. Thanks so much, chat. I appreciate the love. Let's keep the growth up here. Here we go. Here's gold on the right. We got Tesla in the middle. I'm going to put up the SPY. Here's the SPY in the middle. Gold on the right. NVIDIA on the left. 20 seconds, guys. 20 seconds. It's Friday.
Yep.
We ain't got no job, and all we have to do is watch PPI inflation data today, guys.
CUK.
PPI inflation
PW.
data.
JP Morgan CFO said we have been over earning on deposit margin and credit, but on path to
PPI expected at
normalization.
0.1%, and it came in at 0%.
IMTX.
Chat, 0% PPI versus 0.1% expected. Lower PPI than expected. 0% versus 0.1% expected. Core PPI showed up as expected month over month and a little bit higher than expected year over year. But year over year is the least important
Coming up
core PPI metric.
at 8:30 in
regular
1
PPI
minute.
month to month was better than
The
expected. Regular PPI year to year was a
producer
little
price
bit higher
index
than
month
expected,
over
but
month plus
to month it actually was
0.1%.
lower than expected for PPI month to
Plus
month. It came in at 0%
year over
versus
year. The core PPI
0.1%
plus
expected. Chat. We'll
0.2%
put this up
month
on
over
screen.
month.
0% versus 0.1%
expected.
Slightly better than expected. Gold and the market have slightly gone up on this. We'll see if the SPY can break lifetime highs again. Nvidia's testing towards the previous close, so we're moving there, guys. But again, Canadian unemployment showed up at 6.5%, better than 6.7% expected. PPI showed up at 0% month to month versus 0.1% expected. Core showed up higher than expected year over year for core PPI. Month to month was flat, and that's the report. 1.8% for year over year PPI. But yeah, PPI better than expected. Chat, PPI better than expected. Core PPI. Yeah. 1.8 versus 1.6. What does that everything say? Okay, yeah, but PPI again, guys. Month over month, 0%. 0%. PPI 0%. We'll see if it happens. Do you think this is good or bad for markets, guys? Good or bad for markets? We'll put this up on screen. Again, 0% month to month for PPI. Market likes it.
IBIT coin.
AGBA.
Yeah, so market's up. Gold is up.
Month over month,
SPY is
flat.
Up. Nvidia is
0%
up.
versus plus 0.1%
Gold broke
expected
highs
year
of
over
the
year,
day, I think.
1.8%
Gold broke
versus
highs of the day on this
1.6%
report.
expected.
Gold just broke
The
highs of
core
the day.
PPI
SPY
plus
just broke highs of the
0.2%
day.
in line.
Nvidia got over
Month
to
over
the
month
green
plus
level here.
2.8%
Nvidia's not
versus
highs
plus
of the day.
2.7%.
Yeah, Nvidia's about to test
Year
highs of the
over
day, but
year.
Nvidia broke recent 4-hour highs. Nvidia's pushing up too, so this is making the market move up some.
CCL.
Core PPI came in at 0.2% as well, so I'll put this up on screen also. But yeah, better than expected, I would say, for this data.
TWG.
I don't try to predict it because it's a little
CATX
bit
Perspective
different, right? Like
Therapeutics
CPI,
to
we can
advance
look at payroll
investigation
numbers.
of potential
PPI, we
first-in-class
have to look at
radiopharmaceutical therapy based
CPI
on data
report, and that
presented at
varies, you know. So again, and we're going to day
Society
trade some
for
of this
Melanoma
move.
Research.
If you haven't already, again, check out Top Step X. We are going to be day trading some of this move here. So far, so good.
SGBX, Safe and Green
Also down
Holdings,
so we will
announcing
try to
Safe
day
and
trade
Green
this. And again,
Development
we're trading on Top
Corporation
Step
makes
X where there's
preliminary
no
purchase
commissions. You can
commitment
see the last
up to
string of trades I
$2.8
got in.
million for South
Literally no
Texas
commissions.
projects, Sandy
I need
Gulf
a
Bravo
pullback
X-ray.
though. And this is, I'm basically day trading the QQQ on Top Step here. This is basically the QQQ price action.
Lift.
We're looking at gold on the right side. There's a
TWG.
TWG. Extension. That's Alpha Bravo Tango Sandy. ABTS.
Coin.
So far, so good.
CONL.
Took a piece off.
Coin.
Lock it in. Protect it. See if we get a little bounce.
TWG. Big
So
spread.
far, so good here this morning. Take a little bit more off there. Lock it in. Protect it. One contract left. We might add to it. And again, this is on Top Step X. There's no commissions. I can day trade basically the QQ section with no PDT roll on Top Step X. They give you a demo, test your skill with it first. If you pass the test, we're going to go ahead and cut the rest there. So we just made about 15 bucks. Small little gain buying that dip. And again, if you want to check out Top Step, they're one of the most legit. They paid out over 40 million. They're a sponsor of mine though. But again, the biggest edge in funding is Top Step X right now. And so if you want to check it out, here's the link.
SP futures moving higher following the 8:30 data, up 4.50.
SMCI. Shop.
Yeah, I mean, Mike. So Mike McGuire, I asked you this before. Why do you think it's 30%? Why do you think it's 1 out of 3
Industrials raises dividend to 24
Explain
cents.
that
Charlie
for me,
Sandy
please.
Whiskey India. CSWI.
I didn't really make a prediction for PPI though. Yeah, I would say this is bullish. Yeah. I think when we saw CPI come in higher than expected, we want to see PPI do a similar thing. But who knows, man? Nobody knows what's going to happen. Sometimes the first move is the wrong move. Right? So nobody really freaking knows what's going to happen here. And sometimes the first move is wrong.
SMCI. Sophie. AA. Carm. AA. F. Len, Sophie, Uru,
You know just how
CONL.
time-consuming it can be searching for royalty-free media, and when you do find
SMCI.
some, they're all
AA, MEGL, MEGL, MEGL,
TWG. TWG. TWG.
AG, CCL,
TWG.
AG, CONL, AGCX, Shop, Mara, Mara, AA, AMZN, AMZN, Dow, CDTX, Uru, AA, CGC, Uru, SBSW, Uru, Wolf, MSTX, MSTX, Uru, LYFT,
TWG.
Coin, Uru, AG, MSTX, Uru, MSTX, CLSK, MSTX, Uru, CLSK, Shop,
TWG.
IAG,
TWG.
Raise, Raise, AA, MSTX, Raise,
TWG. TWG.
AA, Raise, AA, MSTX, CIFR,
JP Morgan CFO says M&A regulatory environment and geopolitical situation are
TWG.
continued sources of uncertainty.
TWG. TWG.
That's Julia Papa Michael.
CIFR, POAI,
TWG. TWG.
Raise, CIFR,
TWG.
CENX. LAN.
TWG. TWG.
TWG.
TWG.
BRDN.
TWG.
TWG. Shop. BRDN.
TWG. TWG.
TWG.
TWG.
CTMX.
TWG.
Shop. BRDN.
TWG. TWG.
AA.
TWG.
BRDN.
SPAI, Safe Pros, Airborne Response, Emergency Drone Flight, crews deployed by multiple Florida enterprise customers and massive Hurricane Milton recovery effort at Sandy Pampa, Alpha, India.
CARB.
WFC. DJT. DJT. WFC.
TWG. TWG.
TWG.
Dine. WFC.
TWG. Oil.
CENX. Raise.
DJT. DJT.
VRDN. Raise. WFC. WFC.
DJT.
WFC. WFC.
PW.
Raise.
DJT.
Raise. YUMC.
Oil.
WFC.
Oil.
LGCL. 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 VRDN.
DJT.
LGCL.
LGCL.
AA.
TWG. 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 TWG.
WLDS. WLDS. WLDS.
TWG.
WLDS, wearable devices,
TWG.
announcing launch of Mudra band for Apple Watch on Walmart.com.
TWG.
Delta Sandy.
WLDS. WLDS. LIDR. WLDS. WLDS. WLDS.
TWG. TWG. TWG.
AEHR.
AEHR.
AEHR. AEHR.
TWG.
AEHR. AEHR.
AEHR.
AEHR. AEHR.
TWG. 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 TWG.
CARB.
In the past at college, I've struggled with overusing the same words again and again in my essays. I do
Wolf. 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 Wolf.
JP Morgan CFO says expects net interest income ex markets to be at $87 billion for 2025. That's really a pop up, Michael.
KRE.
CCG. AEHR.
SOXS. TSDD.
AEHR. 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 AEHR.
JPM.
AEHR.
Watch the spread.
AEHR.
AEHR.
IPW. AEHR. AEHR. AEHR.
AEHR.
AEHR.
CLSK.
ONMD.
ADHR.
AEHR.
ADHR.
AEHR. AEHR.
IQV, FDA approved A, STs, and Holza. Emulgosa, biosimilar to Stelara.
TWG.
That's J&J and
TWG.
TWG. AGBA.
KNDI, Candy Technology Board approved several major initiatives. Expected production and sales of various off-road electric vehicles, annual units at 36,000, 44,000, 56,300, 65,060, 77,272 between 2025 and 2029. That's Kilo November Delta. India. KNDI.
TWG.
CNEY. CNEY begins compliance with NASDAQ minimum market value with publicly held shares.
TWG.
Echo Yankee. CNEY.
CCG.
Wolf. TWG.
CCG. CLM.
The $5 meal deal at McDonald's
DJT.
means you get to pick between a McDouble or a McChicken.
DJT. TWG. TWG. TWG.
PACB, Pac Bioenter's Cancer Genomics Research Collaboration in Singapore with Advanced Onzo Sequencing. That's Papa Alpha Charlie Bravo. PACB.
TWG. TWG. TWG.
NAM.
TWG. TWG. TWG.
Race.
TWG.
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 TWG. VZLA.
TWG.
Wolf. Wolf. Wolf.
Wolf.
Wolf.
PW.
LYFT. CUTR.
Lift. TWG.
NAM.
TWG. TWG. TWG.
SSSS. TWG. TWG. BVN.
FSN.
Tango Whiskey Golf up about $3.
EPRX. CCG. CCG. AAPL. FSM. CCG.
TWG.
CCG.
TWG.
CCG. CCG.
TWG.
IP. AAPL. AAPL.
PW.
ADMA. TSDD. TSDD. RELX. AAPL. TSLZ. TSLZ. TSLQ. TSLQ. TSLS. TSLS.
JP Morgan CFO said U.S. consumer spending is solid and consistent. That on their earnings call.
Raise.
PW.
Raise. Raise.
TWG.
LASE, CCG, ADMA,
TWG,
TSDD, TSLQ, FSM, TSDD, TSLZ, Aries, LASE,
DJT,
LASE,
TWG,
CAPR, Capricorn Therapeutics, with long-term data from HOPE-2 OLE study in Duchenne's muscular
LASE,
dystrophy. That's Charlie
LASE,
Alpha Papa Romeo, CAPR.
LASE,
TWG,
Data
LASE,
supports Deramicell's sustained efficacy and
TWG,
safety in treating DMD.
LASE,
Improvements seen in multiple cardiac and skeletal endpoints demonstrating stabilization of
CAPR,
cardiac and skeletal muscle function over 3 years of treatment. Capricorn said on track
CAPR,
to fully submit biologics license application by the end of
NNBC,
2024. That is Charlie Alpha Papa Romeo,
CAPR,
CAPR. Shares of Capricorn
NNBC,
popping here now.
TWG,
MIGI,
Shares reversing now, falling here on CAPR.
TSLS,
TSLQ, TSLZ, TSLZ,
SQQQ,
TSLS, TSDD, TSLQ,
TSLS,
TSLQ, TSLQ, TSLQ,
TSLZ,
TSLZ,
NGD,
TSDD, TSLS, TSLS,
TSLZ,
CHNR, TSLZ,
TSLZ,
TSLQ, TSLZ, TSLQ, Napa.
TWG.
Very.
TWG.
GBIO. WLGS.
CAPR. Watch the spread.
WLGS.
Mara. CAPR. Big spread.
ONMT. LEF.
CAPR. Big spread. TW. 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 TW.
You can skip this ad, but don't skip the part that can help you get the job done. At Granger, we're here for you with supplies and solutions.
TWG. 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 TWG.
Wave.
JT. DJT. Turb. Turb.
Turb. Turb.
Turb. Turb. TWG. 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 TWG.
Turb. 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 Turb.
Turb.
FVTI. Turb. 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 Turb.
Turb.
Turb. Turb. Turb.
Turb.
Turb.
Turb.
Turb.
Turb.
Turb. Turb.
Turb. TWG.
Thirty seconds to the U.S. market open.
I want to get paid to learn how to code, but I don't want to go to school for computer science.
Well, let me tell you what you need. You need to join DevSubs. Caleb was a burnt-out English teacher who was tired of slaving away for no money until he joined.
Turb. CETX.
Ost.
TWG. DLNTX. Turb. ZENA. AEHR. TWG. TWG. ZENA.
JP Morgan CEO said no chance of acquiring private
TWG.
label credit card. Dow Jones Industrial Average up 98.90 after the open. Nasdaq down
TWG.
86. S&P 500 up 0.54.
BNR.
TWG. DJT.
SHAK, Shake Shack, DJT. Pop here,
ZENA. 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 ZENA.
ADHR. Very.
LASE. PHUN. TWG. AGBA. AGBA. AGBA.
TWG.
TSLQ. Pixie. MSTX. KDLY.
AGBA.
AGBA.
AGBA. WW.
DERI, Veritone, getting a pop here, $5.19. Victor Romeo India.
WW.
Very.
Very.
Very. WW.
ALC. TWG.
ZENA.
TWG.
KDLY.
TWG.
TWG. TWG. TWG. TWG. TWG. TWG. MSTX.
TWG.
LX. TWG. KDLY.
TWG.
Coming up at 10 a.m., Michigan Consumer Sentiment.
TWG.
TWG.
CAPR Capricorn now at the inter-day high. Data. CAPR.
ALC, LASE,
LGCL,
ALC,
TWG, KDLY, TWG,
ALC,
TWG,
TWG, PW,
TGI, MSTR, PW, ASTS,
TWG,
Team, PW, TGI, PW, TGI,
PW,
PWR, PW, TGI,
TWG,
TGI,
CAPR,
AGBA,
CAPR,
ALAB,
SRFM,
AGBA,
CAPR,
CLS, PW, DTSS,
PW,
MSTR, FBTU, ASTS, FG,
CAPR, TWG,
HUYA,
SRFM,
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 TWG, TWG, TWG,
B. Riley getting a pop to the high. Up about
TWG,
TWG,
You're leaving Yankee.
TWG,
TWG,
SRFM, SRFM, LX,
TWG,
AISP,
SRFM, TWG,
DTSS, AISP, FANH, CAPR, Duo,
DJT, DJT, DJT,
CAPR,
Very,
LGCL, Duo,
CAPR, Very, Very,
HUYA, RBR,
Very,
AGBA,
Very,
Duo, AGBA, ARBS,
BPTH,
AGBA, AGBA,
AGBA,
AGBA, LGCL, Duo, Duo, Apps, Combo, SSSS,
TWG,
Very, NWW,
TWG,
TWG, Very,
TWG,
SSSS, AISB,
VERI, Veritone hitting new highs, $5.49.
PW, PW, DJT, SNAL,
PW,
Apps, Very, VRST, Very, TLA, SSSS, AISB, PHUN, LGCL,
DJT,
AISB.
Truck Media, and today high now 2687. Delta Juliet Tango.
CRF, SNAL, DJT, WWW, FJMH,
LX.
AISP, Airship AI Holdings, popping here to the highs. Alpha India Sandy Papa. AISP.
SSSS.
Very.
SSSS.
AGBA.
SNAL.
SSSS, Suro Capital, hitting new highs, $4.58. Sandy.
TWG.
SNAL.
TWG. TWG.
SNAL. CETX.
SSSS. SSSS.
SSSS.
SSSS, more highs now, getting some volume now. Sandy.
Duo. PHUN. Duo.
TWG.
FUTU. PHUN. Duo.
TIGR.
CETX. FUTU. NUWE.
TIGR. TIGR. SIM. TIGR.
CAP.
TIGR.
Shares of Uber at the highs, $83.99.
TIGR.
Visit your local Acura dealer for attractive offers on a new vehicle.
Not to be dramatic, but I love my whole body deodorant.
Really? Mine stinks. Look.
Here.
TIGR.
PHUN. PHUN.
PHUN.
Coming up, Michigan Consumer Sentiment at 10
DDL.
a.m. Eastern Time for October, expecting 70.9.
Very. Very. AEHR. AEHR.
CETX.
PACB. SMR. SMR.
CETX. SSSS.
AGBA. PACB. Term. AGBA. Term.
SSSS.
Term.
SSSS.
SSSS. SSSS.
SSSS. SSSS.
Go to artlist.io
Very.
and get the best music and sound
TWG.
effects for your videos.
SSSS.
This is not the real world.
SSSS.
SSSS. PDYN. SSSS. Res.
SSSS. SSSS.
SSSS.
SSSS.
SSSS. SSSS.
SSSS. BRCA. TWG. TWG.
CETX. CETX. Res.
AGBA.
S.
Coming up in 1 minute, Michigan consumer sentiment expecting 70.9. MNPR, Rodman and Renshaw
AGBA.
Has a buy rating and $50 price target now. That's Mike November Papa Romeo, MNPR.
If you have an hour this week, you can learn 100 songs on the piano by learning just 4
Else,
chords.
else.
These.
Else. Else.
SRFM. TWG.
Else.
TWG.
68.9
Else.
versus 70.9 on Michigan consumer
ALC.
sentiment. S&P future is pulling back here now a bit on that lower than expected number on the Michigan consumer sentiment.
TSLZ. TSLZ. TSLQ. PW. PW.
Sir.
Crude pulling
AGBA.
back here, 74.85, down 98 cents.
NUWE. SRRK.
AXGN. AXGN.
RSSS. CRNT.
PW.
BTOC. Serve. AGBA. AGBA.
AGBA.
SRRK.
STLA Stellantis CEO said have no intention to sell Maserati. Sandy Tango Lima Alpha.
AGBA.
STLA.
SSSS.
NIVF. NIVF. NIVF.